Teen film. I feel people go to prison for many things, such as a crime they have committed, or maybe if they were set up for that crime. It could be many things. Mm, I feel people end up in prison maybe because they did one mistake in life and sadly it took them to prison. Or an example could be like if they were homeless, they thought just going to jail could be a better place for them because they have food, shelter, and they don't have to worry about anything. Um, some people go because maybe of how they grew up or like maybe they're in and out of jail. I feel while watching this film, it helped me expand on how prison abolishment could be better managed, but at the same time, of how much it has improved and how it could be improved. This also leads me into having an open mind on these prison systems and how they were run. Going back to the 13th film, places where I feel like I had a pause was wherein they said today we have a prison population of 3.2 million. I feel like this was very important because I don't understand why we have so many people in prison just because it ends up affecting the economy because we end up putting more money into the prison system than it could be used for like the education system. During this film, a language that shaped our ideas around prisoners is when they said, when you put on your local news at night, you see black men being paraded across the screen in handcuffs. Black people in general are overrepresented in the news as criminals. I feel like this is a great example of our idea around prisoners because this is actually correct. Like in our local news, we normally see African Americans being handcuffed, and it's always for like drugs or like them running away from the officers. And I feel like this really impacts us because this is like the idea that the news gives us of why people go to prison and why these prisoners are mostly African Americans. Honestly, in my opinion, based on prisoners, I don't really have a problem with them. Like, I feel like everyone goes through something at one point in their life, and all they have to do is learn from it. And if they don't learn from it, they just repeat it. But one thing that really surprised me was how they're treated, and this goes back to like in today's society. I know like how some prisoners are taken somewhere else. Like an example is like to take down the wildfires. And now I know why they take certain prisoners to do certain things is because if something happens to them, like it doesn't matter because they were in prison. And I feel like it shouldn't be like this because even though they're in prison, they should still have rights. And I feel like we should change that. In this film, one thing that really surprised me was when they said it's with the Nixon era, the law and order period, when crime begins to stand in race. I feel like socially profiling someone just because of like their characteristics and their race. And I feel like I get at the time there was discrimination going on and how the activists were trying to get out being discriminated. But I just feel like it wasn't the right thing to do as a president. It really helped me understand more critically was this whole film because it gave me a different point of view that I'm used to, and I feel like more people should have this point of view because it's our world and we have to understand what is going on with it, and like we don't want to repeat history over and over again, and these are the things that we should remember, like why it happened and how we could overcome it. The way I practicing practicing systematic noises in this activity was watching it 3 times, and I feel like the reason was because I would pause and go back to the parts where I would get confused, or I would just want to listen to it over and over again just because I feel like how important it was. There was other times where like certain words I didn't understand, so I had to research them to have a better understanding of what they were talking about. I feel like this activity really helped me further on with the systematic noises, but I feel like this could really help me in my philosophy class just because I'm having a lot of trouble during the readings that we have to do. And I feel like this gave me an idea of how I could better understand the readings and taking it step by step as well.